What's up, everybody? It's your boy Braap Patrol, back at it again with another video. As you can see, we're currently still in the Lancer, but I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is I have officially gotten a new car. It's being delivered tomorrow to my work, so that's very exciting. The bad news is the Lancer, it's time for it to go. It was very short-lived, I know. I had it just over a week, but honestly, I didn't plan on keeping this very long. My backup plan was always to keep this for the winter, but my original plan was to get rid of this as soon as I could. It was literally just to get me by, and it did just that. I can't fault the Lancer. It's a 2004 with 126,000 miles on it, but it's not my cup of tea. Like I said, I was spoiled and I was used to having a new car, and not having that really sucked, in my opinion. I know a lot of people do just fine without new cars, and granted, it's not a necessity, but it's something that I like, and I take pride in my vehicles, so I want something that I'm going to be happy driving. So I've decided to purchase a new vehicle. I looked at a couple different options. I'm not going to reveal what it is just yet, but I'm very excited to be taking delivery of my new vehicle. It is a 2019, and it does have less than 20 miles on it, which I'm very excited about. They gave me an incredible deal on the Lancer for trade-in value, which is really the only reason I'm trading the Lancer in. I planned on selling the Lancer to a friend of mine. Hopefully he understands that the dealership offered me literally $5,275 for this car, and I know it's not worth that, but I'm very excited to be able to trade out of the Lancer and into something new. Like I said, I'll disclose what the new car is tomorrow when I take delivery of it, but I don't think you guys have seen this one coming. It's not something that I talk about a lot. This brand, it's not really something that I've even been super interested in the past. But for the price and the deal that I'm getting, it's honestly, it's an awesome little car. I will disclose that it's a hatchback, which is something that I've wanted to get into again for a very long time. So that's pretty nice. I will also say that the car is neither front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. Therefore, it is all-wheel drive, which is very nice for these New England weathers. I think we're supposed to get between 12 and 20 inches of snow this weekend, so that'll become very handy to have just in time. So that's nice. And it is also a manual. So just like this, it is a 5-speed manual. Not too many car companies still offer that, but I am super excited to be owning a new manual. I test drove it yesterday, and the shifting is amazing. Of course, it's a brand new car. It feels, I can't remember the last time I drove something with a brand new clutch, and I can tell I'm gonna have so much fun with this car. I can't wait to start modifying it just a little bit. It's not any sort of high trim level, so I probably will be doing an exhaust, an intake, and probably wheels at some point. That will be coming in the future. Not anytime too soon, but just keeping my options open right now and seeing what needs to be done. For the most part, I will be keeping the car relatively stock. I don't plan on doing anything too crazy to it. But once again, I am very excited to be obtaining the new vehicle tomorrow. It is going to have CarPlay again. That was like one of my only stipulations, was whatever new car I got, it had to have Apple CarPlay, a touchscreen radio, and of course, you know, the basics: keyless entry, power door locks, power windows. Other than that, I didn't need anything too fancy. But I am super excited to drive this car every day. Like I mentioned, I test drove it yesterday. and it felt amazing. I absolutely fell in love with the car, and I can't wait to be driving a hatchback every day again. Whenever I buy a new used vehicle, the first thing I do is I always purchase oil and a filter, just because you can never really trust what the previous owner has done with the vehicle. So it's always good to do a fresh oil change. I know it's very dark out right now. But because I'm trading this in at the dealership in such a short amount of time, I didn't actually have time to do any of the parts that I was going to do on this car. So I am headed back to Walmart to return the oil and the filter that I bought, just because there's no need to keep it. I know the dealership is going to do their own maintenance if they decide to go that route. But I have a feeling this car is going to go right to auction. It's not going to sit on their lot at all. So they're probably going to send it as is, which is fine with me. Honestly, this car probably is an auction car, and I feel like it'll probably fetch maybe 2,500 bucks at the auction. So I think that's fair. Obviously, the dealership does not value this car at $5 grand. That's just what they showed me. That way, the bank would do the approval on the loan. I'm pretty sure they offered me about $500 on this vehicle, which is a little bit less than I paid for it. But then again, with dealerships, you expect to take the loss. So that's not any new. Walmart's probably gonna think I'm crazy because this is the second 5-quart of oil container and filter that I'll be returning in less than a week. Because once again, right before I wrecked the Sonata, I had bought oil and a filter to do the oil change on that because it was just barely coming due, and didn't get around to it before I totaled it. So I ended up returning the oil and filter to Walmart, and I just feel kind of weird doing the same thing in less than a week. But oh well, that's why they have the return policy. It's why I always keep my receipts. Alright guys, we're just leaving Walmart. I was able to return the oil and filter no problem at all, which is nice. So yeah, I guess you could say that this is pretty much the last time I'm ever going to be driving this Lancer. It's a fun little car to beat around, but I definitely want something that is a little more dialed and more reliable. Not that this has ever given me any problems, but I mean, it's a 15-year-old car and it has 126,000 miles on it. It's bound to need some work. It does suck that I did buy new front brakes and struts for it though. I always buy my parts off of eBay just because it's cheap and usually they're decent quality. So I'm going to have a little bit of a difficult time trying to sell those, or if I decide to return them. But regardless, not a big deal. I'm just super excited that we were able to finalize the deal and get the new car. It's all fun and games to have, you know, something kind of ricey, something kind of old that you can beat on a little bit, but I really miss driving something nice and comfortable again. Not to mention the drone in this thing is ridiculous on the highway. It's only got 5 gears, so it's at the speeds that I average, it's right around 3,500 to 4 grand all the time, which is a little annoying for a daily anyways. I'm also still dealing with the insurance company for the totaled Sonata, and so far the process has been all right. It's a little overwhelming just dealing with the insurance and then the different gap insurance company. There is a ton of paperwork that's required, which makes sense. They want to protect their asses at all costs, and of course they want to try and spend as little amount of money as possible. But it's just, I mean, it's a laundry list of forms that I need to supply to the different insurance companies themselves, and then I'm sure I have to do a lot of paperwork as well. But alright guys, that just about wraps up this video. Just wanted to say a little goodbye to the Lancer. It's a fun little car. Kind of gonna miss it, but definitely glad I'm getting something new. I'm super excited. I will keep you guys updated when I get my new car, and I'll do another video on that one. Until next time guys, drive safe. Peace out.